Hi, this is JC Sinelli, and I would like to welcome to the Camporee now Mr. Bill Chin. He's the Director of Information Technology and the Vice President of Unit Program for the Connecticut Yankee Council. Welcome, Mr. Chin.
It's great to be here.
So when we were talking about folks to interview for the Everyday Heroes Camporee, one of the things I thought of that's maybe overlooked right now is the fact that technology is really what's keeping us all together while we're apart. So could you tell us a little bit about your job and then how that's changed during this time?
Sure, I'm just the director of information technology for the town. We support all of our town departments and all of our employees. On a normal basis, we provide desktop support. When people have problems, we maintain all of our systems and servers and network, email and things like that. And also we try to implement some new technologies to help streamline some processes. We also support the police department and EMS. So those are kind of 24/7 support roles. And so when the phone rings, we answer it. And they're kind of nice about trying not to wake us up, but sometimes things happen and things break. So we always want to make sure that they're working, and we'll jump out of bed and hop on to support them. Part of our role is to also support emergency management during times like this, and even during other events like storms and winter storms and hurricanes and tropical storms and things like that. So we work closely with the police department and emergency management, EMS, and all of our first responders to make sure that they're supported and they have the tools and things that they need to do their jobs. And so we do a lot of training with FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management, and the premise is really be prepared. We want to make sure that we're ready to respond whenever something happens. And this crisis and this pandemic kind of came out of nowhere for us, and we had to be pretty quick to adapt and provide some support to people working remotely, which we don't normally do.
So one of the things I've noticed, and as a member of one of the town commissions, is that every time that there's a meeting now remotely, Mr. Chin is involved in that meeting. So how is that as far as just something that you're dealing with, I guess, on a daily basis, multiple times a day?
Yeah, I've found that there's a lot of town meetings that I'm normally not used to attending or participating in. Normally when I go home, I'm home and I get to relax for the evening, but now everything is online, and we're supporting all of our town boards and commissions, like the town council, the board of finance, planning and zoning, and board of education, and things like that. And they have meetings scheduled roughly at 7 o'clock every night, and sometimes 9 o'clock, 9:30. There was a meeting last week that went to 11 o'clock. So it's been a lot of evening hours and supporting those meetings. But we launched a bunch of Zoom meetings and webinars to allow the public to attend these meetings and listen in on their town government. And it's kind of neat to see that, even though we're all remote and we're all separated, that the business continues and the important work is still getting done.
Now, you mentioned something earlier as part of your job is to be prepared. I've heard that somewhere before. You yourself
Right.
are an Eagle Scout. How do you think that your experience, or why don't you tell the scouts watching and the scouters watching a little bit about your own scouting history and how that experience has helped shape you for your later life?
Sure. I mean, just like all the scouts out there, I really enjoyed camping in the outdoors. I really loved hiking and camping every month for year-round camping, in the snow, in the rain, on top of snow, after it snows, during its while we're all the bad weather, and I loved it. And it was really the outdoors that kept me involved in scouting. Worked our way through leadership positions and started as an assistant patrol leader and a scribe, and ended up being a patrol leader and senior patrol leader for a little while. And all those teamwork opportunities, working in patrols, and just having fun with my friends was a lot of fun. And as you kind of grow through the program, you take some leadership roles, and that kind of teaches you how to work together as a team, how to delegate responsibility, how to trust members of your patrol and your troop and your unit to kind of do their part and monitor them. And And then I got involved at the Order of the Arrow, and that was a lot of fun too.
So let's talk about that a little bit. I know that you're a Vigil Honor member of the Order of the Arrow. You were Lodge Chief of Tankatiki Lodge during the time when Tankatiki Lodge and Arcoon Lodge actually merged to form the current lodge, Awanaco Lodge. And then I know you went on to be a section advisor. You're a recipient of the Distinguished Service Award of the Order of the Arrow, and you've also been involved on the national committee. Is that right?
Right. Yeah, I've been on national committee for now 2 years, which is just an interesting experience and something that once I got to the table, you look around and you're like, how did I get here? And it's really just a lot of time and commitment throughout the years. I started off in the Order of the Arrow when I was 13 and got inducted, and really enjoyed ceremonies, which is funny because I was really shy when I was young, and I really hated class presentations and book reports and things like that in front of the class when we were in elementary school, and absolutely did not want to be involved in a speaking role with ceremonies. And then I got my arm twisted, and they're like, "Oh, just learn this part as a backup." And then next thing you know, the backup turns primary, and I'm doing ceremonies. So that kind of taught me how to communicate with people, and kind of got me out of that uh, shy phase. It put me in front of people and allowed me the opportunity to speak in front of groups, which now I'm fairly comfortable with. And I've trained at National Order of the Arrow conferences in front of rooms of 500 people, and obviously smaller groups too. But it was really scouting that put me in the position to learn all these things. And with the Order of the Arrow, that opportunity just provided leadership roles and things like that to really hone my leadership skills and teamwork skills with other people.
So I know a big part of the Order of the Arrow is service, and through the leadership skills you've learned in scouting and service, it's sort of compounded by being involved in the Order of the Arrow. How do you think that has helped you do your job better in the service to your community?
Yeah, scouting really teaches a few fundamentals, and service to others and helping other people at all times is something that's at the forefront. And so I think throughout my scouting experience and throughout my life, it's really kind of become a habit to help other people and just to do what we do. And I think part of the reason why I enjoy IT support so much is because I do have the opportunity to help people when they have computer problems. And, it could be something so simple for me to fix, but at that time, it's something that that person is suffering from and isn't able to fix on their own. And sometimes they're lost and frustrated. So um, it's fun to come save the day, I guess, and help. But we're just trying to do our job, and oftentimes IT people are behind the scenes and we're not in the spotlight. But we do provide a critical role in supporting systems and allowing everybody to work efficiently.
Certainly, I think everyone who's working in IT right now is an unsung hero during this crisis. It must feel good to be able, having grown up in Trumbull, you're an Eagle Scout from Troop 68 in Trumbull. Being able to give back to your town must be rewarding.
Sure, that was definitely one of the things that attracted me to this position in the beginning. I first worked in New York City, and I was commuting from Trumbull into the city, and that was a long time on the train. But New York was great, and I had a lot of fun there. And when this opportunity came around to work at home, I really was excited for the role, and it's been great. And it's nice. I see friendly faces all around town in my work, in my daily work. Sometimes people come in to say hi when they stop in the town hall, so that's really nice too. So giving back to my community is something that has kind of always been there with scouting, and now in my professional role, I'm able to do that as well.
And certainly it doesn't go unnoticed. Having watched one of the and I'll go unnamed this time, one of the town groups meeting, and they were having some technical difficulties, saying we really need Bill Chin here to help us through this. It really shows that your expertise and your abilities go a long way, and are certainly noticed in the town.
Yeah, it's been an interesting ride for the last few months, and obviously it's always great to be appreciated. And when people call you by name and say we need your help, it kind of reinforces the fact that we're doing a good job.
So I'm sure there are some scouts out here that are wondering how could they get into the type of career that you have. Is there any advice that you'd be able to give them?
Sure. You know, computers is something that when I was looking for a career, I thought about going to be an accountant. And I was really good math student when I was younger, and I really excelled in math. I didn't love reading, and so I knew I didn't want to do something in that field. But math was something that was always comfortable to me. And I went to college, and my freshman year, I took an accounting course that was required, and found out really quickly that accounting was boring to me. So I decided not to go that route, and found myself thinking, well, what possibly could I do that would land me a job in the future? And I chose IT because I figured the computers are around and everybody would need help someday. So I'd always have a stable career, which has so far proven to be okay. And it's, allowed me to help people, like I mentioned earlier, and all sorts of those things. But for the scouts out there who are wondering about how they can do, how they can be a career in IT, really just take the merit badge, just take digital communication, I think, or computers, or just dabble in those areas, play on your computer, kind of learn how to install some software, how to troubleshoot things on your own. Just be curious and um, poke around and read the settings. And I think a lot of people, they don't read enough when a message comes up, a pop-up, and the pop-up will tell you what you need to do. It's like click here, click next, or whatever. And so just be patient and do a lot of research and reading, and play on your computer.
Are there any other words of advice that you would want to give to scouts who are maybe having a little bit of difficulty right now? They're struggling. They're not able to go to their troop meetings or go to summer camp traditionally. Any words of advice?
Right. It's definitely a different world out there right now, and I think some advice would just be to take the time to relax and have fun. Seeing your friends and getting out there, it will come, and it'll come soon. But right now, take the time to enjoy some peace and quiet. And I think life often takes us to different places quickly, and you get absorbed in the day-to-day schedule, and you don't really take the time to relax and enjoy it. And as strange as it is right now, it's a nice time to just sit outside, enjoy the outdoors, go for a walk around your neighborhood, maybe go for a walk and take a hike, and just take some time to relax.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us today, everyone. Again, this is Mr. Bill Chin with the Town of Trumbull and Kankakee Yankee Council. Thanks a lot. Stay safe.
Right. Take care.